And here we go, number 4 of our World Championship action here live on DAZN on Friday night from Manchester, New Hampshire. The reason that we're here in Manchester, New Hampshire is because of this man, Demtrius Andrade, making a defense of his WBO World Middleweight Championship against Ireland's Jason Quigley. Cannot wait for this fight. It's going to be a huge crowd in attendance on a major, major night for Manchester, New Hampshire, and they tell me the biggest sporting event in this state of all time. Ed, you were there when we had that conversation earlier. But before we meet the fighters and their respective teams, a very special presentation for Demtrius Andrade. I'd like to welcome up John Duggan from the WBO to award Demtrius with his ring for 5 World Championship defenses. Demtrius, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. Demtrius has had 5 successful WBO World Champions defenses in 2 different divisions. So he's an undefeated 2-division World Champion. And it's my honor today to give him his WBO ring.
Congratulations, Demtrius.
Try it on, try it on.
I think I get it on this finger.
There you go. Might have to be resized a little bit.
Yes.
Good work. Thank you, John.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, John. 5 World Championship defenses for Demtrius Andrade, and the man that he will be defending against on Friday night. We'll move to his team. Robert Diaz, welcome again from Golden Boy. This is a fight you've pushed for a long time. Brilliant fight last time out in Las Vegas for Jason as well. And you believe, and as I'm sure the whole team does, this could be a great bit of timing for Jason Quigley. People talking about Demtrius missing out on the big fights. When's he going to fight this guy? When's he going to fight that guy? And he faces a guy on Friday that's full of hunger and plenty of ability.
Absolutely, Eddie. It just goes to show who Jason Quigley is. In the past, when there was a possibility of fighting Jaime Munguia, Quigley raised his hand. Came about a possibility of fighting Canelo when we were promoting him, Quigley raised his hand. In a day and age where not too many are lining up to fight Demtrius, Quigley raised his hand. I'll tell you, he wanted the fight earlier, but we wanted Demtrius to get the ring. Now it's time to take the title. Don't miss it. This will be home field advantage, but for Jason Quigley. The Irish will be here on Friday night.
Massive, massive opportunity for him, and got to make it count. I mean, you know, the dream of becoming a world champion. As you said, there was plenty of Irish on the plane coming over. There's going to be plenty of Irish in attendance. Got to leave absolutely everything in the ring on Friday night.
Jason he has it all. We haven't seen it. On Friday night, we will see it. I've known him since his pro debut. We've had his whole career. He can fight, he can slug, he can box, he can fight through all obstacles. He broke his hand and shattered, actually, his hand and did a lot of damage in the Tapia fight, but he showed heart of the Irish and fought on. Friday night, this is his dream. From day one, all the young kids, all they want to do is fight for the world title. But Jason told me from day one, I don't only want the world title, I want the WBO world title. So where everybody else was running away from Demtrius, he was running towards Demtrius. Friday night, you will see a new world champion going back to Ireland with that belt.
Jason, massive moment for you. I know what boxing means to you, but on Friday night, you get your opportunity to become world middleweight champion just a couple of days away now.
Yeah, this is a very exciting time for me. You know, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. It's a little bit crazy that I'm fighting Demtrius for the world title, because I remember watching him in the World Boxing Championships in Chicago whenever I was a youth in the amateur team. And I was very impressed by him by the amateur game, going on to become a world amateur champion. And didn't think back then that I'd be challenging him for a world title come this time in my career. But I'm here now, I'm looking forward to it, and really excited to step into the ring.
A lot of people say that, you know, one of the most avoided fighters out there. You know him, you've studied him as well. What makes him avoided, and why do you feel that you wanted to accept this challenge?
Look, if I was Demtrius, I'd be very pissed as well that I haven't got those big fights. He's a 2-weight world champion. I believe he's the best world champion in the middleweight division right now. All these guys are avoiding him because of his talent, his skills. He's a very skillful fighter, very good fighter. And these guys are avoiding him because I think he's a high-risk, low-reward in a lot of senses for these big names, the likes of Canelos and Golovkins. They've been avoiding him. Look, I'm a young, hungry fighter looking to become a world champion. Demtrius is a world champion, and I'm really looking forward to an opportunity to fight him for that world title.
Clearly you believe he is beatable, and you saw against Liam Williams again that razor-fast start from Demtrius Andrade, and Liam Williams come back in that fight with a lot of pressure as well. Is that the key for you to keep the pressure on Demtrius Andrade? You have to leave absolutely every ounce in the ring on Friday night with this massive opportunity for your career.
Of course, you know, in every fight, look, boxing's a crazy old game. It can go any way, and any man can win at any stage of the fight. Demtrius is obviously a very quick starter, and in that fight against Liam Williams, Liam came back well. I know Liam well. I've trained with him in the Engle gym for a number of years, and it was a great fight. But of course, every man's beatable, and I'm looking to get in there, give the performance of my career, and I believe that I can become world champion.
And finally, we're here because just a short drive from Providence, but at the same time, great for you because it's a short drive from Boston. And when I flew in just yesterday, there was a lot of Irish on the flight. There's going to be a great crowd on Friday and a lot of Irish support, and they're going to be pushing you on every step of the way.
Yeah, you know, I think everybody all around the world, and it doesn't matter what sport you're in, knows that the Irish are always out to support their own, no matter what it is. And every day this week, there's droves of Irish coming into the East Coast. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the arena and soaking up that atmosphere because it's going to be something special for sure.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you on Friday. We'll start with Ed Farris. Ed, welcome. Another fight, another defense. You've seen the ring come out there and, you know, lots of talk about didn't get this fight, but big, tough fight for Demtrius on Friday night. Young, hungry challenger in Jason Quigley and expecting a great night.
Yeah, we're, first of all, I'd like to thank Jason Quigley for having the guts to take this fight because nobody in the United States wants to fight Demtrius Andrade. He's had how many fights with you, Eddie? And every one of them, Poland, England, you know, it's like Akavov, you know, Sulecki. We have to go to other countries to get them to come fight him because nobody in the United States has the guts to step in the ring with Demtrius Andrade, and that is a fact.
Do you think a lot of that comes, Ed, from obviously his ability as a pro, but also a lot of these fighters grew up with him on the amateur circuit, and they all talk about how good he was back then, how good he is now, and
absolutely
almost made that decision before the guy even turned pro that they would never want to fight.
Yeah, when he, I mean, you got to realize this kid has been getting up every day, going to the gym for 27 years. 27 years. He's been going to the gym before school, before anything else, the gym and his training came first. But for 27 years, he's been throwing punches. In the amateurs, they had no choice. They had to fight him. If you want to become the amateur world champion, you had to go through Demtrius Andrade. And at one point, it was like the skies would part, the seas would part when he walked into a room in the amateurs because everyone was afraid of him. Everyone that fought him lost to him at least once. And I'm talking about Porter, Thurman, Trout, all these guys that were considered top fighters, every one of them that got in the ring with him lost. At one point or another, they got beat by Demtrius Andrade. And now, in the pros, everybody's been able to avoid him all of this time. You throw out $30 million for somebody to fight him. Canelo Alvarez still won't get in the ring with him. Moved 2 weight classes not to have to fight him. I mean, what does that tell you when the #1 pound-for-pound person in the world moves 2 different weight classes when he had a chance to unify at 154 and at 160? Canelo Alvarez had all the belts. Demtrius Andrade had the 1 remaining belt, and Canelo Alvarez chose to move up to another weight class, and he's doing it again. Yet somebody like Quigley comes in and takes the fight. So how can I say anything derogatory about a man that comes in and is willing to fight the best fighter in the world and take his chance on a big stage? And
Thank you, Ed. Demtrius, a lot of talk about this guy won't fight you, this guy won't fight you. This guy will. And this is a real fight on Friday. I know you've taken this camp very, very seriously. I know you've worked very hard in this camp as well. putting everything aside, putting the who won't fight you, what fights you want aside. This is a massive fight for your career on Friday, and those other talks are irrelevant if you don't take care of business this weekend.
No, yeah, of course. We back at the, pretty much in the same page. Jason Quigley, it's after he fought Sugar Shane Jr., he announced that he wanted to fight Demtrius, and that's the luxury that a lot of fighters have right now. If you call on Demtrius Andrade, your possibility of getting a fight will occur. So here we go. So I give Jason Quigley, the most respect for, stepping up to the plate and taking on this challenge. And at the end of the day, may the best man win. Unfortunately, it's me, but unfortunate on Quigley's part. But listen, at the end of the day, we're gonna go in there and put on a show. We're gonna perform at our best, and we're gonna let people know like the middleweight division is one of the best divisions out there.
I know when I spoke to Ed and you started like a train against Liam Williams, slowed down a little bit in the back end of the fight. People talking about you doing a lot of weights in camp for that fight as well. Has it been important this camp to be on top of that weight and make sure you're ready to put that kind of energy over 12 rounds if you have to on Saturday? We always see you start extremely fast in these contests.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's every fight's different. Every style makes a different fight. If Quigley has shared the ring with Liam in sparring, so he knows that's a tough effort right there, and there's no stopping him. No matter if you come fast or you come slow, he's coming hard 24/7 of the day. So you have to be smart when you're fighting fighters like that, and that's what I do. We worry about winning rounds and however the fight goes, and that's the most important thing. It's just winning each and every round.
You've been nice and active, especially during COVID as well, but also something that a lot of people will always try and use as an excuse against you is, he's not a drawer, he doesn't sell tickets. We went to Providence. We had a huge crowd in there. Now we're in New Hampshire. We're going to have a huge crowd on Friday night. Kind of running out of excuses. Do you feel that you want to put a statement in on Friday night to say to people that, people use the excuse, maybe he's not exciting, maybe he's this, maybe he's that, all these maybes, to come out in front of a big crowd on Friday night and a big platform and put a devastating performance together? Is that what you need? Is that what you want?
I mean, the excuses are coming from who? Like you said, you don't want to talk about it, but you're bringing up situations to talk about it. You talk about the Charlo fans, you talk about the Canelo fans, you talk about the fanatures. Like, we're talking about them people that you're mentioning. As long as MATCHROOM, the zone, and everybody does their job to make sure that Demtrius Andrade is being promoted and we're doing what we need to do to promote, people are going to come out because they know I have the talent and skill, and I'm going to bring a fight if the other opponent is also going to bring a fight. We're not in here to bore anybody. Boxing, there's nothing boring about it. It's a strategically bout, and everything we do is that way. And so all I know, I'm 30-0, 2000 Olympian, and 2 different world champion. How's that boring? So I mean, at the end of the day, these people need to either step up. But like you said, we're not here to talk about that. I've been talking about that all week. And every single time we have a conversation, today is about me and Quigley dancing, getting it on, and may the best man win, and there's going to be a performance, and I'm going to make a statement. And then I continue to make statements every single time. All I keep doing is winning. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go in there and dance.
Well, we look forward to watching you in another defense of your world middleweight title against the very, very game and dangerous Jason Quigley. This Friday, Manchester, New Hampshire, 4 world championship fights, headlined by the World Middleweight Championship, Demtrius Andrade against Quigley, live on DAZN all around the world. Wherever you are, do not miss it. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to have a head-to-head up here, please. Thank you.